Yeah. Tony. All right.
Hannah, I'm home.
Yeah, Mr. Overlook, sometimes double book. Most of y'all is overcooked. I'm raw like some sushi off in Noble down in Malibu. Hope you niggas catch the hook. Me and bro, we matching coops. I count money fast as fuck. I got shorty backing up and lapping up spectacular. Yeah, I'm from the A, I got a shotgun in my passenger. Yeah, I'm from the A, you know the standards, you ain't trap enough. In New York today, the way I spit, I can rap a bus. Starlet's got some fine shit. Harlem got some fine shit. Queens got some fine shit. Brooklyn got some fine shit. Can't forget about Candyland because it mine shit. They keep talking about they from the jungle. All that line shit. Line them up and cross them out. I'ma buy a gross amount. I'ma buy the grocery, but tell me who gon' tote them out. Making sure my family eat the riches in my family tree. Somewhere near a sandy beach. My girl Hermes head to feet. Yeah. Shit hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children and monsters of ages, all space and time. Welcome to NXT Time with D-Walk. I am not D-Walk. I'm just the invisible man, Alex Coquito. He is on vacation for the next couple of weeks, but no matter what, the show must go on. I am joined today by my special guest and special co-host, Mr. Jet Fett. How are you, sir?
I am good, and NXT was a blast. I unfortunately only caught the beginning and the end of it, though. So
I'll break it down
it's
for you.
that.
It's all right.
Yeah, I know what happened. I just missed it. I missed it live.
Okay, I get it. I got all the way up into the end, and then I saw the clip of things happening for the future, ladies and gentlemen. But make sure to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. We're going to talk about NXT, break it down. There's going to be a rant about Kylie Armstrong. I'm sorry, but not sorry at all. Give a shout out to Right Hand Cammy. What up? What up to YouTube? We start the show off from a recap from Stand and Deliver from last week. Everything that happened, all the results. Since I wasn't here last week, were you satisfied? Like, and you can tell me your rating in general. Like, were you satisfied of Stand and Deliver last week?
It was good. It was a fun show for sure, but I mean, it felt a bit weird having it. I feel like there's something special about it being on WrestleMania weekend. It just felt a bit weird, but the matches were fine. I mean, like, I still believe that the Gargano Miles Bourne match did nothing for either of them.
Nope.
The men's fatal four-way was fine. I really do think though, they need to start like putting the good stories in the main event. I think Soul and Zarya should have probably main evented Stand Deliver. The men's fatal four was good, but I mean, it was like I kind of had an idea that Tony was going to win.
Yeah, of
because
course.
the other three are probably getting called up soon. So,
there's one is most definitely getting called up. 2 or 3 are probably getting stalled for anyone else.
I would imagine Ethan Page. Yeah, but I was going to say
Ethan maybe.
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah, I feel like he's the most ready. I mean, they're all ready, but I mean, they kind of need people down there. Yeah,
For me, I actually like the triple threat between Lola, Kendall, and JC. I kind of wanted Kendall to win, but we understand why down the line. That's fine.
Yeah,
it was a good match. Like Tatum doesn't really have bad matches. That's actually a great thing about her. Sometimes there's not that many memorable matches, but there's a lot of matches where she doesn't really mess up. And if she does mess up, she kind of like works around it.
Yeah, I can't tell you a bad Tatum Paxley match. Like she has she's very good. Like she's also ready. Like she's been ready for like a year now at least.
No, I think after the Wendy Chu thing, she had to find her way and kind of like get her character. Her character's been the same. There's not really a change in character, but her move set and how she's adapted from she's done botches, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a guarantee like, oh, she's perfect. No, she's done botches, but she's found a way to remove those botches and work around it. So I respect her for that more than anything. Other than that, let's start off with the first match. Kaylani Jordan versus Jada Parker. This is the second match of possibly a third one because obviously they're gonna put a freaking third one.
I mean, they got to at this point to get because Jada won the first one, right? I believe so. Or did is it tied or
actually I don't. Let me see. No,
it's not?
Kaylani. No, it's not actually. No,
What?
that's the weird thing. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember Jada ever winning against Kaylani. I can remember every Kaylani match up until like the last year, because she's like every match is like every ending from Kaylani has never been the same twice with her crazy.
Oh,
Oh, well,
oh,
we'll get
so
back to that.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
go
yeah.
on. All right. Let's just start this match off. Match starts off pretty good. At one point, the turnbuckle gets pulled off by accident, and that'll be in play later. Her hip and her lower body was hurting Jada Parker anyway. Kaylani was
Yeah.
focusing on it a lot, doing a lot of kicks. She did do the high step, the jumping booty thing, but she didn't do the legs because again her body was hurting, and I respect that. Mr. Booker T was on one, but we'll talk about that later. At the end of it all, Miss Jada Parker was going to do a hypnotic to Kaylani in the corner, but Kaylani moved. She hit the turnbuckle. It injured her. Kaylani did her special, and Kaylani actually beat Jada Parker. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't clean, so I guess that does kind of warrant a third match. But I don't see what this does for Jada. If Jada loses again, I don't see what happens. Like, what does she do after this loss? How does she bounce
But
back?
there has to be a bounce back because I'll shout out to Real Black Couch Booking. Like, oh no, he got mad the night of when it happened, and he made a video, and then the day later he's like, okay, let me just redirect my video and say this. I'm like, okay, cool. But for her to okay, nothing against Kaylani, and I'm gonna say this now, former North American champion, everything else, but it's like Jada Parker is not Brock Lesnar stats, but it's Jada Parker and it's Kaylani Jordan. It doesn't. I don't freaking know why did
They're
Kaylani
very
have to
high.
win by accidents.
Yeah, they're very high on Kalani. And for good reason. She's great. Like
She's great.
she's very great. But Jada, I feel like she's been over like super over for like the last couple years. It feels like, but for some reason, it just they can't give her anything. Like can't give her big wins.
Oh my god. And again, nothing against Kaylani, but they're just copy pasting the same thing that she does, but to every single person. Target a body part, attack it all the time, attack them backstage, have a match, win one or two, and then lose at the end for Kaylani, and then you repeat. And that means she'll probably win this one, which she did, then win the next one, or Jada wins the next one, and then on the third match, the rubber match, which we all know this, as the sun comes up and the moon goes down, Jada Parker doesn't win. Because at the big one, she never wins the big one. Never. She's the Vegeta of NXT.
Yeah, she's like they just have her not. They can't let her win any big match. It feels like anytime I watch NXT, and she has a match, I'm just assuming she's gonna lose, and most of the time she kind of does just lose.
Nothing against that. Nothing against her either. It's just
she's great. I mean, she has the skills on pretty much everything. Yeah.
It's just the thing that hinders her and supposedly powers her. It's her butt. Like, stop using your butt as a weapon.
Oh yeah. You know what? Yeah, she needs wasn't she using like a pump handle slam for like?
Yeah, but then it's always what she used to do before this Kaylani match was like she would set up the hypnotic to the pump handle slam, but in this match she just went straight for the hypnotic in the corner again.
Yeah, I think she desperately needs a new finisher. Maybe not desperately, but like it's a bit absurd.
Desperately.
Yeah,
something
different would definitely work. I mean, hip attacks, like that's not gonna. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe like a hip attack isn't going to win or something. So maybe she has to get like a new move.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. And by the way, people were like, "Oh, if you're gonna crap on Callie using a shoulder attack, Callie, who is a track runner, uses that with great speed like Braun Breaker. Yeah. Jada Parker is not a NIL employee of booty. She's a soccer player. So don't give me that crap. I've never seen anyone use your butt in a soccer match. Show me it. Put it down in the link, and I'll tag you. But other than that, no. Two big differences, ladies and gentlemen. I want to put that out there before the hate comes in the comments, which they always do. They always do. But Mr.
Yeah,
Jet,
yeah.
what rating would you give this match in a sense? A to F.
A to F. It's hard for me to say anything bad about like a Kalani Jordan match or a Jada match. I'm gonna probably just because Jada probably should get wins, I'm gonna give it a B because like I feel like they gotta give Jada a win eventually, like before people stop caring. That is.
Yeah. Bleacher Report gives it a B minus. I give it a B minus as well. Like it's a standard Jada Parker match. It's a standard Kalani Jordan match with a outcome that, as much as they wanted to change it up, it's still the outcome that we kind of thought. Like Jada Parker never freaking wins. Like she wins in other things, but just not in this. But in the notable moments of this match and everything else, the show started with a hype package for NXT Revenge with a dramatic narrator. I like that. The overwhelming support for Miss Parker waned a bit over the course of the match, but Jordan kept the crowd heat focused on her, which I forgot to say that. Like it was Miss Parker, and at the end of the match is like, okay, Lonnie. Like it was very like even the crowd's like, we're getting tired of this shit. Like it's like, why should we? Do we have the chance to pick Parker anymore? I don't know. Should we? I don't know.
Yeah,
the crowd, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we kind of got confused, which I mean, it happens. I think I heard Carmelo Hayes talk about it in an interview. The NXT crowd, like they switch up on people, like, and I mean, you see it like clear as day. The NXT crowd is like they get behind someone like Jada, but then eventually they like move on to the next like big star.
Oh yeah. And shout out to that. Carmelo Hayes did say that in an interview. Like they're so like weird and like picky on what they want to or not want to say or who they like. Because it's again at one time they were saying Ricky Strokes for him the whole time. Strokes. I'm like, oh god. And like I think last week someone was just like screeching like a banshee for like a full minute. That even the crowd looked at it and like, what the fuck are you doing? But that's the 100 people crowd there. Like it's so compressed. They can do and say whatever the hell they want, and it helps them.
I mean, it's like a fun experience to watch on TV because they're going to be loud, which is nice. But they switch up way too fast though on people.
Be better, Jada. Backstage, Ricky Saints interrupted Charlotte Hill's construction project for Tatum Paxley to mock him. That was funny that the referee's like, oh, leave him alone, don't touch him. And Charlotte Hill's like with a power saw, and the drill's like, oh, and like, come on, man, help me out. Like, and I did like the referee's face. She's like, oh shit. Oh wait, I'm out of here, and then she just pulled him out the way. But what do you like? What we'll do segment by segment. What are your thoughts on this segment that Shadow Hill is not dumb at all? He's not dumb at all. But the fact that every time someone comes up to him, he's like, I have power tools. Like I can just act like I'm being nice to you, but I have power tools in my hand.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that?
It's a bit difficult for me to comment on because I'm not like a huge fan of Shiloh Hill so far.
Yeah.
He hasn't really done much for me. I mean, like, he's a funny guy, sure. I mean, but it's kind of hard to get behind some of the LFG people because, well, I mean, they're like mentored by a legend, and then they come to NXT, and sometimes they just disappear for a little bit. But I mean, Shiloh Hill, he's funny. Ricky Saints, like, he's a funny guy. They're both funny people, so. It was an all right segment. It wasn't. I've seen funnier NXT segments though, from both of them.
I have as well back in the day with Axiom when he got beat up by I think he got beat up by Oba, and every time like one week one would fall to the ground, and the next week another person would fall to the ground. I'm like, that was actually pretty big. I miss those small like little moments of happiness. Ethan Page arrives to distract Saints and convince him that they needed to work together to win the NXT Championship. They both hug, breathe in, breathe out. So they're just gonna keep playing this like we're villains, but we're cool with each other. And what are your thoughts on that for now? Like they're not gonna go both up to the main roster as best friends,
right?
Hell no. So what are your thoughts?
I wouldn't be against them going to the main roster as a makeshift tag team because I feel like they have they saying that they would revive a division's a bit like much, but they would add to I don't know the Raw, maybe a SmackDown tag division. I feel like their like chemistry with each other is probably it saved some episodes of NXT for me because ever since like they turned Ricky heel, it's just been great. Like he's been great. So I think I don't know. They're probably not going to get called up together. I do see them probably keeping Ricky in NXT for maybe a couple more months or maybe a year. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it. Yeah, I mean, I do see them maybe having a match. I don't know. It really just depends on the timeline because they do WWE calls people up out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I could say that they're gonna have a match at like the Nets and it's the pay per view, but then like before that they get called up. So
Okay. Like for me, Ethan should have gone. He should have been gone after like the whole Javon thing, and then they extended a little bit more with the Chelsea thing, and then they extended a little bit
oh
more
yeah,
with the like he's been it's like him waiting is like him being in jail, and every time of the day that he's supposed to get released, they keep extending it. He's like, all right, whatever, fucking I don't care. I ain't got nothing else to do on the outside.
it
And I
probably yeah, it probably
yeah,
had to do with something that they lost all their like not all their like the men's division, like they lost
yeah.
Trick, they lost Oba, they lost Javon. They kind of need like they need to build up like other people first, and then I'm sure then they'll get like confident that they don't need like Ethan Page care like helping in at Steve.
Yeah, that's true. Because again, if you take out Ethan and Ricky and just leave everybody else, Evolve can carry the torch of matches. That's the easy thing. And do a
Yeah,
little bit of comedy. That's the easier thing. But
right.
in terms of storyline, it's gonna take a while.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I feel like would be lacking if they like got rid of Page and Saints for the men anyway. It would be a bit of a rough like story,
Yeah.
like narrative to watch.
Yeah, it would be, and I bring up the reference of like NXT. It would be like NXT 2017. There was a lull
Oh
between
yeah.
Bobby Roode and Nakamura. Like that lull was not that great. And we did have the dubstep cowboys and we did have a couple other things, but before Ciampa came in, before Aleister Black came in, there was Kona Reeves. Okay.
Yeah.
There's it was never a good time for that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
But what
and
is a good
there's
time? Go
yeah.
on.
Yeah. No, sorry, you go. You go
No,
ahead.
go on.
I was gonna say that like NXT especially it needs a blood feud sometimes to carry the show as a whole. Like
Yes.
Champa Gargano, that was one. Um I don't think they ever really I mean they kinda did Roxanne and Cora. That was kind of a blood feud, but also kinda not really because
Yeah.
they weren't really they were a tag team, but they were just kind of thrown together.
Yeah.
Um and then obviously Trick and Mello. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they could recreate that like Trick and Mello storyline now. They kind of don't have any long lasting teams right now,
They don't.
so they could. Yeah, sorry
No,
again.
go on. Go on.
I was gonna say they could have probably done like had they if they didn't have any plans to give Fratsian the tag titles on the main roster, they could have definitely done
Oh
like
my
a
god.
Frazier versus Axiom feud. I feel like that would have been awesome.
I was waiting for that breakup for so long. When they both got called up, I'm like, you guys are assholes. Like you've been teasing
Yeah,
this for a year. Back when I
nothing
was the
new though.
co-host,
Yeah,
yeah, back when I was the co-host of Dennis, I would call Fraction the cancer of NXT because every time they fought with somebody, they either turned heel or they just disappeared. Like any team that they touched Chase U, that shit broke up real fucking quick the second
yeah.
after that happens. But let's talk about something that I have to explain to some people. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't watch Evolve at this time, a certain character I'm going to talk about, we on the Evolve with PWF podcast like to call him factory setting. I'll explain that a little later. Joe Hendry comes out. He starts doing a concert. He's like, I failed. He starts singing that he did fail, that he was a champion once. And when he was about to say that he was thinking about or going to the main roster, Keanu Carver comes out. He's like, no more singing, none of that crap. Like, I don't want to hear this crap. Joe Henry's like, look, you gotta let me do my concert. I don't care what you say. They go inside, they brawl in the ring. Uh, Mr. Hendry kicks him, grabs the guitar, does a Jeff Jarrett and hits him. And most people that get hit by guitars are like, oh crap, that shit, oh, I'm down. Factory setting Keanu Carver, which we bring it up, is a factory setting evolved character where he was just a murderer. There was no sense in his story. He was just a force of nature that was pissed. And if he wanted something, he almost killed Jackson Drake at one point in Evolve. It was actually pretty cool. So he eats the guitar. He beats up Joe Hendry a little bit more, takes him to the outside. Shout out to the cameos of Cyrus, and I think that was somebody else I didn't know that got beat up by Carver first. Once they went to the outside, Braxton Cole, Harley Riggin, and It's Gall was the ones holding Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry was busted open on his head. Don't know how that happened. I think it happened in between like him slamming. I think when I went back to watch it again, I think when he slammed the guitar on Carver, a piece of it flew into his head because Carver didn't hit him at all and didn't like headbutt him or nothing. But that's what I think. But Carver on the outside charged, did a double clothesline to all four people, even It's Gall, and stand there dominated. And I know that there's some young podcasters and young YouTubers that do wrestling that don't understand this, and they use the race card. Oh, he's a super N-word. He's a dumb monster. Da 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 da. What are your thoughts on this segment? And I'll say my thoughts on this. I've been watching Keanu Carver since episode 1 of Evolve, so I know what his story is.
Yeah, so I'm not super deep on the Evolve lore, but I can tell you for sure Keanu Carver is a standout. He's very entertaining. Whenever he's on screen, I'm very excited to see what he's going to do. And yeah, this was a great way. I would imagine they have a match next week. Carver and Hendry.
It's been scheduled, yeah.
Oh, it has? Okay. So yeah, and I like the presentation of Keanu Carver. I think he's like for lack of a better word, a beast. Like he's very, that's what they're going for, trying to make him on. I don't say on par with Jacob Fatu would be a bit crazy, but in terms of, when Fatu gets hit with something, he just he are used to no sell it. So I don't know. I like what I saw from Carver. I like that he interrupted Joe Hendry.
Yeah,
and that's pretty big for him, honestly. Because Joe's basically the number one babyface on NXT right now.
I do like that, and mind you, it's the fact that Carver is a monster. There is no like, oh, he needs a storyline. I don't understand his character. Bitch, you should have watched Evolve. You should have watched it because again, he had a cast on his hands, and even though people are like he shouldn't really be wrestling, he has a cast in his hand. He still had a match and murdered people with that. Like, that was the point I love about Carver. Sometimes you don't need a fucking storyline behind a guy. Yokozuna was a big motherfucker. You didn't need a storyline. He had a manager, sure, but looking at him alone, I'm like, holy shit, this guy's a monster, and he can run around and do fucking high flyer shit. That's what Carver is right now. Like, people forget, and thank you for agree with me. Like, people forget that in the 80s or 90s, people used just to come in as the aura alone. That was their storyline.
Yep. Yeah, that's how it works.
But people forget that, oh, I don't understand the character because you're probably too young to understand what wrestling is back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s when we didn't have little text boxes or trivia in the bottom. We had to look at the guy from the stands and be like, this motherfucker, damn. Like, that's all you needed. Yeah. Bruiser Brody had a chain, and that was his character.
Yeah.
Either way. But I love this segment. I hope. What are your thoughts on this? The rumor is that this is Joe Hendry's last match next week.
I think
he's gone.
I think that's the right call for Joe. I mean, they were already probably going to call him up to SmackDown. That's what I got from last year. But yeah, I mean, and you give Carver the big win. He's definitely going to be a contender for the NXT Championship. He's going to skip the mid card for sure. I think that's where they're going. And you know what?
Yeah.
Him as NXT champion, wouldn't mind it. I think him and Tony D'Angelo could have a pretty good feud in terms of like how chaotic it could be. So yeah,
That also there are reports as well that after this match with Hendry, they are going to push him to Tony D'Angelo. Like they already saw the potential in him
yeah,
and said, "Okay, we want to push you to the moon." And it makes sense because Tony D's like, "Oh, I defeat." And he did bring it up later. We'll talk about that a little later. But
yeah,
when he brought up the fact that, "Oh, I defeated the ruler. I'm the only one that did that." That's great. This is Keanu Carver. This is a whole other motherfucker. That's a whole other level that you cannot, like, you're the Sting. That's great. Boom. Keanu Carver is just a crazy macho man that doesn't have any charisma for now, but just as the monster.
yeah. Give him time, and he'll develop the mic skills. And once he's done that, he'll he's going to be a force to reckon with, not
Yes.
just for NXT, but for like Raw, SmackDown, AAA. You know.
That and that's the point of it. Even Bleacher Report says it. This could be an easy answer for transitioning Hendry to the main roster. He puts over Carver to make NXT Big's monster, then transitions smoothly to SmackDown or Raw with nothing serious. Like you won the belt, Hendry. You don't really need to be
Yeah,
there at all. Like,
I think they should have like Carver like demolish Joe, not like a squash match, but like have him like I don't think they're gonna have him bleed, but like have Carver just destroy him, like send like NXT's number one guy with packing basically.
yeah, and he has to do it. He has to do it in front of Booker T. He
Oh
has to
yeah,
like beat him and then take him to the outside and just destroy him right there. Because again, yes, Booker T wasn't mentioned in this because again, people were like, "Oh, the story's over." Like, no, Booker T's there because it's just one step of the plan. He's going to fight Booker T. If they're gonna do the whole Regal Castagnoli thing where Castagnoli like retired Regal in NXT, then you just retire Booker T in NXT with Carver being the guy. And we all know Jasper Troy is Booker's guy. I get it.
yeah,
And there's like a small like 30% legit beef with Booker T and Carver because he really doesn't like Carver. He respects him, but he doesn't like it because again, he doesn't like that this guy has this aura of a monster but didn't really earn it. Like some people do. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like he's like, "Oh, the guy looks like a monster." Yeah, he looks like a fucking monster, but he didn't really earn it. Yeah, he did. He's a monster. Have you? And he evolved. They said his bio. He's been on the streets. He had like he's just and his promo is just, "I ain't going back to the streets."
yeah.
Okay, good
That's
motivation
kind of
for
all
me.
you need. Yeah, that's all you need basically for a guy like Carver.
Good enough for me. All
Yeah,
right. There was a loud back to Bleacher Report. There was a loud screaming Hendry fan in the audience when he arrived. That's the one that just screamed like crazy, pissed me off. After that, D'Angelo had a pre-tape package explaining the next goal to defeat top names and get all the way up to the top of the business, starting with All Ego Ethan Page. And he gave him props. And that's when he brought up the whole like, "I beat Oba. I'm the only one that beat Oba." And someone in a podcast said, "I wish someone would just retcon that and say that Oba never got beat because obviously you don't want to bring this up
yeah.
unless they're doing a larger storyline down the line that once Tony D goes up to the main roster, then Oba's like, "I defeated everybody," and
Oh yeah,
Tony
yeah.
D's like, "Well, I defeated you, and I can do this all over again if they go down that path. They can save it, but not people watch NXT." But anyway. Back to that. But what's your thoughts on Tony D kind of like giving Ethan Page but also bringing up the fact that yeah, I'm the only one that defeated Obafemi's streak, which is kind of true.
It is true, and I think that's a good thing to brag about if you're Tony D'Angelo. But yeah, I think it's really yeah. I don't really have anything else to add there on the video package. It's just like a formulaic hype package before a title match. So
Okay,
hype up
I
the
like
champ.
that. I do like this Tony D'Angelo. He's not really there yet, but he'll get there. I'm for me, like he's getting there. Like the storyline
Yeah,
of like him being the vigilante, I like it, but then it's just how long are you gonna do this? How long are you gonna be a vigilante? Even Sting switched it up and turned to Wolfpack.
yeah.
Like you can't do this forever. You can't milk this forever either. This is NXT.
he can't. Also, he also can't stay in NXT forever
No.
because they
Well,
had. I mean, he can, I guess, but like it would probably be like smarter for him to stay in NXT because like you know the writers down there, but
mhm.
like yeah, I mean, but then there's also like the cases of people staying in NXT for like what 4 or 5 years and then after like they just get let go for
Yep.
no reason, like
Thea
Wesley,
Hale.
like what? See, Hale got let go.
Mm-mm.
No, oh, okay,
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, I just scared. But like, that's another example of like she's been there for 4 years.
yeah, and also Andre Chase is he still working? Like, is he
Yeah,
still
yeah,
chasing
yeah.
you? Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
yep.
Yeah, I just
Still
never
there.
see him on TV.
That's what I mean. Like there are
They
people
kind
that
of
are
killed
still
his
there.
faction. Yeah,
Yeah.
they kind of
When you
killed. Yeah,
they try to the faction's dead. Like there's no more Chase U. It's just Andre Chase being by himself again. And guess what?
sad.
Let's do Chase U again. No, like you've done it 4 times.
Yeah, worked the first like couple times. Didn't work. It's not working with the newest. Like, well, I guess it was Kale Dixon and the other
Uriah.
dude. Yeah, it was them. And I don't know. Yeah,
No, but even then, before we go to the next segment, like even then with Birthright, they're not winning. They're
no,
losing. Like, and I get it, they won the speed, whatever, all that shit. But the fact that you lose in the pre-show just for just for Lexus to win a speed, just to like, it's not working. If you brought out Regal and this guy's and Fit Finley just for them to lose the pre-show, what's the point of this? Like,
they
they should
should.
be,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, they should be winning matches, and it's I don't know. Winning a speed matches doesn't really like won't do much for you in the long run for like a
No,
faction. They
no.
should be like contending for the tag titles or like one of the like a couple of them should be like going after the North American title at
Yep.
least if you don't want them to go for the NXT title. But I don't know.
And,
It's
and none of them are, by the way.
questionable.
None of them are going after anything. Like Lexus is not
Yeah.
going. Like at least one of them can reinstate the freaking Heritage Cup if you want to go down that route. Like
Yeah.
that's defunct. Jesus. Oh, next up, we have a progressive spotlight talking about Soruka, and I love that Soruka and Zarya's timeline are two different things. They show the same clips from
Yeah.
2025 to now, and they show that in Soruka's perspective, like she tried her best, and Zarya was ungrateful and everything else. And I'm gonna connect both of these things. And then when they showed Zarya's like, I tried my best, I would have burned the world for you, but you didn't really respect me, and you didn't really give a shit about me, so I'm gonna make you remember me. What are your thoughts on both these perspectives? Again, this is actually good storytelling in this perspective. And what are your thoughts on them doing this last woman standing match because they realized that the stand and deliver match just was bad booking? Great match,
Yeah.
bad book.
Yeah. I feel like um it's a feud that is I don't like not like I said, I'm not like super like tight with NXT right now. So who's the so Soul's the baby face in this feud, right? Or is it like you pick your poison, like whichever one you cheer for? Like
The latter because it's so
okay.
Ruka's like they actually I have to give the crowd of NXT and I don't like to give the crowd credit, but like a couple weeks ago so Ruka was saying her business, saying that Zarya, you were always jealous, like you cost me my title and all this other stuff. But when Zarya started talking, she brought up the fact like I have done everything for you, I have jumped a bullet for you, I have like tried to help you, but then every time I get I get a shot, I get one, but you get five. Like, how is this equal in this friendship at all? And that's when you realize, like, if you look at it from Sol Ruka's perspective,
Yeah.
she's the baby face and Zarya is the heel. But you look at Zarya's perspective,
Yeah.
Zarya is the baby face, and that's what I love about this storyline. You can pick and choose whatever you like you said.
Right.
You can pick
Yeah.
your poison.
Yeah. So yeah, and that's a cool thing about this feud. It's a unique type of rivalry. I would like to see them do this on the main roster somehow. But yeah, so Soul and Zarya, that last woman standing match, it should main event. It probably will. I hope.
Yes.
Zarya should win. 100%. She should win. I have a strange feeling that they're gonna have Soul win though,
No,
because
no, no. I think it's Zarya. Okay, continue. I'll say my thoughts on that.
because I feel like they I'm going off of like years of watching WWE lately, or in the last
Mm.
couple of years, and like they usually make you believe that the heel like, is going to win, like the quote unquote heel for Zarya, I guess. But now like, but then it's also like a last woman standing match, so it's I feel like you rarely see the babyface lose.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna have Soul. I don't want Soul to win. I want Zarya to get a win. I feel like this might. I don't think it ends the rivalry because I don't know once it's the pay per view. Is that like it's not Heat Wave? That's not even close from now.
No.
And it's
They
the
haven't announced it yet. So I think it's like in a month. In about a month.
oh is it spring breaking? Are they doing that this year or
Spring break's over. So yeah, I think in about May, like at the end of
oh
May, there should
okay
be because
well
I know
yeah
Backlash. I know Backlash is in May 9th. So after
yeah
Backlash, there could be like an NXT pay-per-view like 2 weeks after that.
Battleground then it would be Battleground I guess.
Yeah, we Battleground. Ugh.
So yeah, I don't like the venues that they picked for Battleground. But other than that, I guess Zarya wins this one. They're going to do a trilogy for sure. Then I
Mhm.
don't know what you can do to like. I feel like a last woman standing match should just end the feud though.
It
It should.
should. It should, but my thoughts on this is that Zarya like should win this one because Soul won the
Yeah.
last one.
Yeah.
And again, the times that Soul beat Zarya and vice versa are kind of off, so we don't talk about that. We just kind of assume that Stand and Deliver is the first one.
Yeah.
This one will be the second one, and the third match, which you just brought up, NXT Battleground. I don't think they're gonna wait a month because again, we don't know for sure when Soul's going up, but we do know that she is going up. We just don't know when. And
Yeah.
if they're gonna milk this to after WrestleMania, which is kind of stupid, and then milk this for another month, then I mean, because like the reports are that Soul is ready to go up, but they're just waiting for something. No, you don't know what the something is.
I find that crazy. I find that crazy that they're calling Soul up already. I feel like they should have had like have had her win the NXT Women's Championship at least. I mean, she was North American champion and Speed champion, but
Yeah.
I feel like they should have same with like they called people up out of nowhere, like you said earlier. So this feud could like be going, and then boom, Soul gets called up. Rosario's left to I don't know do something because they did that with Ricky Saints and Javon. I feel like
They
Javon just
did.
got called up. Oba got called up, and that kind of left Ricky Saints in limbo for like a couple weeks before he like found himself again.
That was a thing. Like for me, like since we have a new women's champion in Lola, and we'll talk about that a little later at the end of the show.
Yep.
Like we have all these new possibilities, but it also works for the men too, because right now we have two people that are going to leave, guaranteed in the next month at least. And we have people from Evolve, which I hate that they're like, oh, I saw this guy on Evolve, oh, I'll take him. I saw this guy on Evolve, oh, I'll take him. They keep doing that week after week, and it's starting to piss me off for me because I'm like, you don't give us at least a week or two with these guys before you snatch them up forever. Like Elio LaFleur was supposed to go to Evolve. He was already like
Right.
had a plane ticket ready to go. And they're like, nope, you're going with us. And then now he's hurt for 6 months.
Damn, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. But I
That
do
got
love
hurt.
I
Yeah.
do love the kayfabe of it though, Jet, that like they showed
Yeah.
him in the hospital, but he blurred his own face. He's like, you're not seeing my face. No. That's why I was like, oh, that's dedication. Like, you're not gonna see my face.
That's dedication. Yeah.
It is. But oh my god. But I hope this works. But back to this. Kelly Armstrong versus Skylar Ray. Welcome back. She's been in main events for the last 2-3 months, just there over and over again. But Kelly Armstrong, and history of this, she said this herself in an interview, that she found out that she was going up to the main roster 1 hour before Stand and Deliver started. Like she was in the back with all her friends, and then the main people came up to her and said, hey, by the way, you're gonna be in a video package next week, and you're gonna be in NXT Revenge in about 2 weeks. So I'm like, good for her, man, because she was surprised. Like no one knew, none of her friends, no one in the higher ups. This was like very hush hush, and they just told her and then she told everybody else like a couple hours later, but like she was the only one that knew that she was going up to the main roster. And an hour before Stand and Deliver, because like right when Stand and Deliver, if you remember, there was a video package saying, "Oh, Callie Armstrong's coming." So she was surprised at everybody else, like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have a video package of you." And you go like, "What?" Oh, okay, but Callie Armstrong versus Skylar Ray. Shout out to Layla Diggs. She's the one that designed her gear for Callie Armstrong. Layla Diggs is also a wrestler in Evolve who is a great gymnast, a great adaptive, evolving gymnast, and learned from her friend Mason Holiday how to make clothes. So now she's making gear for all her friends down in Evolve. That is pretty cool. Like you're learning how to be a designer, and that's a good backing, like a good back for her, because in case she gets hurt and she doesn't want to do this anymore, she can work as a clothing designer for the company. Like you still get money.
That's a pretty good way to keep your job. Yeah,
exactly. Mason Holiday does her own gear too. All right. Last time in action, Skylar Ray alongside Shiloh Hill defeated Ariana Grace. That was on December 17th. That was the last time Skylar Ray was on TV. And Kelly Armstrong was the last time she was on TV was against Carmen Petrovic a couple months before that. Kelly Armstrong revived with confidence and delivered strong offense from the outside, nearly picking up the win after a spine buster. Skylar Ray stayed in the action, almost picking up a surprise win after a satellite DDT. It wasn't a pizza DDT, satellite DDT. Armstrong caught her diving and rocked her with a right hand. She was doing the punches, like the rock punches. That was pretty cool. Actually more like Dusty Road punches. So that was pretty cool. This was a solid. And then at the end, she went to the ropes, did the Cali connection. Skylar Ray almost scorpioned herself. You saw that too, right? Just her chin was the thing that stopped her because she was doing a perfect rotation, and then her chin got stuck on the floor, and then for a quick second, she's like, "Oh shit." And then scorpioned herself. I'm like,
insane.
It was
insane landing.
What are your thoughts on the match and Kylie Armstrong debut? This is what we in Evolve we call her when she's like this, like really angry and just like confident as fuck. This is Karen Armstrong, just angry. So, what are your thoughts on Karen Armstrong, Kelly Armstrong?
I think so. I'm not like I know of her work in Evolve. I've seen some stuff of her on NXT like I did last night. But yeah, I mean, I'm easily impressed by wrestlers. Like I can't tell you a wrestler on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Evolve, AAA that I don't like in ring. So yeah, great match. That's Cell. That's how you get a finisher over. That's like holy, like absolutely insane. I think, and yeah, not to get into what happens at the end of the show, but NXT women's division still going to be carrying.
Okay. This is what I gotta say about Kelly Armstrong, and viewer discretion is advised. I'm gonna have a rant on this. Now, Kelly Armstrong, since the inception of her character until now, and I say this specifically, has not changed her moveset. She did do a move I've never seen before. It was kind of like a jumping on the turnbuckle, did kind of some weird shit. But other than that, she has never changed her move style at all. She is the former Evolve champion. She's the first ever inaugural Evolve champion.
Right.
And from this match, and again, clip this, StreamYard. Shout out to Poison Rana, shout out to Fightful Wrestling. And I just have no hate against them, but I don't like it when you don't watch a product, but then criticize the wrestler from that product. Mind you, I know for a fact that Poison Rana, who are subsidiaries of Post Wrestling, do not watch Evolve. They do not. They never, ever. They only watched the Succession because it was in NXT and they wanted to see it. That's the only time they ever watched a match from Kelly Armstrong. And that was the match from Kelly Armstrong with Kendall Gray. Fightful Wrestling gave Kelly Armstrong Rookie of the Year. They gave her the award. But however, if you listen to their NXT reviews every week, they crap on Evolve. They don't know what Evolve is. They made fun of Lenny Luck and her medical condition. They just don't know nothing. So this is what I got to say about Kelly Armstrong. What was that?
I was just gonna say that's kind of crazy for like Fightful to do, since they're like, I don't know, they're like they report on basically everything wrestling, so you would think they would watch Evolve.
Nope. Check out when you get a chance, Jet. Check out the videos on my YouTube channel,
I would.
and I tagged them. I've literally tagged them and say, hey, you don't watch this, and I have receipts. I don't talk random shit. I actually have receipts of them saying it, and it bothers me. Like when Kendall Gray, we'll talk about Kendall Gray in a little bit. When Kendall Gray vacated her title because she won the match against Tyra May Steele, and then logical thought Thatcher, the best GM in the whole business of WWE, explained why. Fight for Wrestling. Oh, she vacated her title. What? Why would they do that? Oh, and then the other one says, oh, you know, why did they put Tyra? It was kind of a bad showing. Tyra looked like a fucking monster against Kendall in that match, and she only lost because she was green. That's the storyline of Tyra. So, but back to this. Why do you want to change a Olympic, not even Olympic, a world? She is a world record track star. She has a world record of something, of running. So she uses her thing for her advantage and uses a shoulder check. Why isn't anyone saying shit about Braun Breaker doing that? Right? Why is it okay for Braun Breaker to bounce off the ropes and do that, but Callie can't? Explain. Oh, it's a shoulder. No one should win with a shoulder check. Well, no one should win with a super kick, but people do that. No one should win with a DDT, but people do that. So why you gotta crap on a woman that has, like, she has perfected that Callie connection. She beat Natalia. She was in a 4-way. She beat Wendy. She had a great match with Kendall. She fought Nikita twice and beat her. So why are you crapping on a wrestler because her special is the same exact thing as Braun Breaker, except Braun Breaker doesn't bounce off ropes. He runs. Which, by the way, Braun Breaker said in his interview, Callie runs faster than Braun. He said it in an interview himself.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that? That's all I gotta say about that. Because again, tomorrow on Evolve, I'm gonna bring my thoughts on that shit.
My thoughts are that people saying that it's not a good finisher. I disagree. There have been way worse finishers. I think the speed of her, if it was like someone that could not, like, if you like didn't have the speed of her, or didn't have like the skill set of her when it came to that move, then yeah, I would understand the criticism. But if she can run faster than Braun Breaker, then there is no argument to be made that she has every right to do that move. And yeah, like I said, it's not the worst finisher in history. There have been so many more horrible wrestling finishers.
Yep.
And I can't tell you the last time I saw someone use a shoulder, like that type of move, as a finisher. So it's already different in the company.
It is because again, and it also lends the people that actually sold it. Carly Bright got the Cali connection. She sold it. Nikita got the Cali connection. She got pushed back so far, it looked like a fucking pounce. Like a pounce. But Kiana Carver, oh, that's not a finisher, a pounce. Mind you, no one really does a pounce as a finisher, but it looks awesome. So is it too?
One, yeah.
It does look sick. So imagine if Keith Lee did a pounce as a finisher. Is everyone gonna be like, oh, I don't believe that? Look at Keith Lee.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Keith Lee is, like, if he used a pounce as a finisher, it would be automatically believable, because the dude, yeah, like the dude, like, he's a big guy and he just chucked someone. Yeah.
But that's all I gotta say about that. But Kelly Armstrong, welcome to NXT. I'm happy that she's in NXT. More than importantly, if Kendall does win the belt, there's gonna be a Callie Kendall feud.
Oh yeah,
and that's match of the fucking night. Mind you, they might put Lola in there, whatever. But I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, they'll do a triple threat, and then they'll do a one-on-one match, like at a big show.
Mind you, I would like to see Tatum versus Callie and Thea versus Callie, and even Izzy versus Callie. Because Izzy's tall as hell, but like once Callie get that running. But again, I digress. It is odd that NXT hyped Armstrong's match and Evolve to crown that. Yeah, that's also a little thing too. Like, you shouldn't have done this match for me, like booking wise. You shouldn't have done this match on Tuesday and then promote her to be on an Eliminator Gauntlet tomorrow or today. Like it doesn't. Like you kind of saying that, oh, she's here and she's not going to win. When you do that, that means she's not going to win. I
Yeah,
haven't seen the ending yet. I have like 12 more minutes of the match of the Eliminator Gauntlet, but I haven't seen it yet. I've gotten spoiled to find out who the mystery woman is. It's not a happy spoiler, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. Nothing against that person. It's just not. Anyway, back to this. Stephanie McCurr found Lola Vice backstage. They like I do like that Lola. Sorry, Stephanie McCurr's backstage because we hear a promo about something else later. Robert Stone told the Vanity Project and Blake Monroe that she would face Tatum Paxley next week for the Women's North American Championship. But there's a stipulation. I did like that Jackson Drake looked at Robert Stone and, hey, look here, buddy. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm older than you. Who the fuck are you? But Mr. Ricky Smokes is like, what are you going to be like, Mad Stone, Sad Stone? Get out of here, Smokes. And he got out of here. So what are your thoughts on, before we find out what the stipulation is, the fact that Robert Stone was like a stand for a Vanity Project, but now that he's the boss and they're like his workers, he hates the shit out of them.
I think it's actually good character growth because like when he wasn't the GM and Vanity Project was around, I mean like they look cool to him, right? But now he has to deal with like Vanity Project and all their business. So yeah, I mean that it does make sense, you know. You don't like he was not the GM and now he is the GM. So before he was a fan of them, he would like try to push for them, I believe, and then now he has to work with them, and it's probably like torture for him.
Exactly. It's like you're a guy that got to the college and you're not a teacher yet, and you hang out with them for like a week, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool as fuck." Then you become a teacher and you teach them, and it's the worst because they don't listen for shit because you know they're gonna fucking party for a fucking week. I love that. I love that. Speaking of this, let's see. After that, we get NXT champion Tony D'Angelo versus All Ethan Page. This match started with nice little like a lockup. Mr. Ricky Saints came out to support. Hands grabbed him from below and pulled them. And I did like Ricky Saints' face because he did look like he was getting pulled to hell. So he disappeared for a while.
Very well, yeah.
He did sell it really well. And then even after when we find out that Shiloh Hill and I he didn't have a mask on, he just had the equipment stuff on. Took him by the ropes and dragged his ass to the outside, like horse dragged him. And again, Ricky Saints' face. He's like, oh no! He gets pulled out. Ultimately, this match, thumb to the eye to Tony D'Angelo. And let's see right here. This was the two fought to the announce table where D'Angelo sent Page onto the barricade, follow in by a spear into the table. He finished the job with a spine buster to win. And that's the chapter close for Ethan Page. What are your thoughts on the match? What are your thoughts on that?
I have something a bit like funny to point out. So Ethan grabs the NXT championship, brings it into the ring. It's on the ring floor. He hits the Ego and the ref sees it all. And then Ethan hits his finish, Ego's edge, onto the title. And the ref doesn't he saw it happen. So it was that should have been, if we're being realistic about it, it should have probably been a DQ. Or because it's also the same ref that it's always the same ref that sees the title in plain view, but just doesn't disqualify or anything like that. It was funny. It was like a goofy thing to see.
It was, but then like other podcasts have said the same thing. Like, why is it passable sometimes where people cheat, but then it's not passable sometimes where they don't cheat? Like, it doesn't make any sense that he brought it in himself. He used it, and mind you, it's the chair paradox. Like, if you bring a chair into the ring and you do a DDT on it, does it still count as a qualification because you didn't grab the chair and hit somebody?
Yeah.
You just fell on the chair. It's kind of it's a weird fucking thing. Like it depends on the ref, but the refs in NXT have been inconsistent as a motherfucker. So
that's actually just I feel like that's referees in general though. Like I go back to I believe it was Rhea versus Io last year for the world title on that Raw at the Chamber. And I think Bianca and Rhea got into a mini brawl, but then the ref didn't call it or anything. I think it makes more sense for title matches. I wish they like kept that consistent for like title matches. If someone tries to get involved, the ref just like says no, we're not ending it. That would make for far more entertaining TV if like the refs didn't just disqualify immediately. You know?
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Because like honestly, I again, it's bad booking sometimes by the ref. Like they want to do good storylines, but the technical minutia gets them at the end. Like the small things that you don't have to do in this match. You could have kept in strong. You could have done some other things. You could have done a DDT on the steps of the outside and dragged them in, and that would have been a whole. Like just doing it just makes Ethan look weak. Like, oh, I beat everybody to get to the belt, but when you fought Tony, you ain't gonna fucking win, even when you cheat. Like it's
Yeah.
just bad booking. It's bad booking. Again, nothing against them. Nothing against them at
Was the
all.
yeah? Was the table supposed to break? You think? Because the
No, well,
spear.
sort of.
No.
Yeah, because he speared downward, but wasn't down enough. Again, like that's like almost 400 pounds of weight, and
Yeah.
Ethan jumped. By the way, he didn't like lay down. He's like, oh shit, and he jumped to get all the weight. No, I think it was supposed to. It just they landed on the corner too. They landed
Yeah.
literally on the right hand corner of the table. So
Yeah. It looked like it was
good.
supposed to break, but yeah.
I do like that. The streaming fan. Oh yeah. The screaming fan or fans in the audience were completely behind D'Angelo, just screaming. There was like the same guy who screamed to Joe Hendry was screaming for freaking D'Angelo. It's really bothers me. Miles Bourne comes out. He says that he was basically he called Stephanie Vaquer his dessert that he was going to enjoy, and he got some winks on there, so he's getting some punani that night. He talks about. Yeah, good for him though. He talks about Dark States and that when Dark State comes out, no one's safe. Then Dark State comes out. Deion Lennox is like, look, we couldn't get the NXT title, that's fine, but like the future of Dark State is that North American title. He's like, all right, fine, that's great, but like you're the leader of Dark State, Deion. Like you're the chooser. Like if I'll give you a match next week, but if you attack me now, there is no match. First ever smartest North American champion ever.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's ever. I love that. Like, oh, you guys are a group. If anyone you guys touch me, no one's getting a match. No one. And I love that. Like, but no one ever talks about that. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you for agreeing with that because I was like, I love that the booking was quite simple and just the smallest. And again, someone was mocking Miles Bourne as well in the audience. Really pissed me the fuck off. You know he's fucking deaf, and you gotta make fun of it. Like that's really pisses me off.
Yeah.
You heard that too,
Stupid.
right? Someone was like, "Oh, I'm like, shut the fuck up."
Yeah, some people that's just like the thing about like this like bit industry, I guess you'd say. Some fans just need to just either shut up or like come on, read the room. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, but
It's
this is the same room.
2026. Come on.
It's 2026, but this is the same room that says Ricky Strokes. Like
Yeah.
you just. Ugh.
Yeah.
But anyway, Saquon Sugars is like, I don't give a crap about that. It's like, look, we're thinking about me. Like, oh, you think about us or you think about you? So telling the Dion. He goes inside the ring. Miles Bourne, I don't give a shit what you call it, Miles Bourne. You did a zigzag. You did a zigzag and they all ran away. But what are your thoughts? It's a stupid zigzag, but still. What are your thoughts on Miles Bourne's promo and Deion Lennox? Again, these are the cracks for Dark State.
I think it's a question. I mean, I don't think it's questionable since I guess it is like for Dark State, I can see them. It's a sad thing because I can only see two of them being successful after Dark State. I think Dion is going to do great things. I think Sugars, he's going to do a lot of great things. The other two, Osiris and Cutler, I don't know. I feel like Dark State, it's too soon to like tease this like dissension in Dark State. And with WWE's track record, they really like to take their time with like breaking groups up. So I think this is one of the times where it's actually a good thing. Don't break Dark State up yet, even though I think NXT is lacking in the like a babyface faction. I feel like. I'm trying to think if there's any like prominent ones on NXT
Just
because you have a
Birthright.
bunch.
That's it.
Aren't they though heels? Are they?
there is no babyface factions in
Yeah,
NXT. Like there
that's
hasn't.
what I'm saying. Like, there's no
Nope.
need. Yeah, I guess they should. I don't know. I'm trying to think of it as if Dark State should stay a group, but then there's already like enough heel factions in NXT. Maybe they could do
Yeah.
like a tweener thing where Dark State just feuds with like whoever they feud with, depending on like if they're face or heel. That's whichever. That's the way they go. I don't know. I feel like yeah. I mean, but so we got Dion versus Miles next week. I have a feeling that Sugars is probably going to, or Dark State's going to accidentally cost Dion the match,
Mm,
which
could be.
I like Dion Lennox. I think he's like he found himself in this group and he found his career. Like, I mean, yeah, he had like Dark State's impressed me a lot since they like formed. So would not mind if Dion won the title. I think it is too soon though for Miles to drop it. Unless they move him to the NXT Championship, which I can see them doing, but I don't think they give it to him yet.
Um, I see it, but then like he has to have a championship first. Like he has to get a title, and if you're gonna do like the whole, I think this is a swerve from Dark State too. Like they're just doing all this like, oh, I hate you, just at
Yeah,
the end to swerve. Cause like, but then like that shit's unborn. Oh yeah, Born, we just gave you the belt, and we're giving it to Lennox.
yeah.
Why? Because I'm like, okay, I guess.
I mean, yeah, that would only work if they give Bourne the NXT Championship. But since Tony just won it,
He
I
ain't
don't see
getting it.
D'Angelo dropping it for like
Nope.
maybe until Kiana Carver. Maybe Carver beats D'Angelo for it, and then you have Carver go on like a 6 month, maybe 8 month run with the
Yeah, you
title.
could. And you can bring it back like Carver versus Legacy, Carver versus Bourne, Carver versus Leon.
I think
Sorry,
then
Leon.
they would definitely have Bourne then. Probably, maybe. If this is all saying if the crowd's still behind Miles Bourne by the
Yeah.
time, I would imagine next year Stand Deliver rolls around. I
Oh, that's
Because I envision Tony D'Angelo holding the title until maybe Heat Wave, or like because I feel like they're gonna stretch it out a bit, and
mm,
then Tiana wins it off Tony, and then maybe they do Tianu versus Miles at Stand Deliver
I
or whatever
I
deadline
can see that.
maybe.
I can see that. I like for me, I think like okay. I think when they do the Iron Survivor tournament again, I think we'll get around
Yep.
that, like around November. Like that might be the time that D loses the belt, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. And then you do a rematch of D Carver for Stand and Deliver. So then if Tony D doesn't go up to the main roster, he gets the belt back. But if he's going to the main roster, then he just loses the Carver. Carver stands tall. Because
Yeah.
Carver's not going to the main roster for a while. I'm
No, yeah,
giving him at least 2 years, at least a year, 2 years to get his character, figure it out, get some belts under him and some like reps.
Yeah,
Really have some fun.
definitely have Carver stay in NXT for I would say 3 years.
Okay, 3 years
Because
is fine. All right.
3 years, I feel like that gives him time to be a monstrous heel, and then they can test out maybe like depending on how he is with the
Yep.
mic skills by then. Maybe they can try like a more not face, but maybe like leaning towards that edge because they want to have layers to like their talent if they are going up to the main roster. Because
Yeah.
like how they had Roxanne, Trick, and Breaker, they spent like an extra year in NXT to like develop that heel like skill.
Okay. I get that because like honestly, like Keanu Carver in a group is it's back in Evolve podcast, we call him the Abercrombie and Fitch bitch because like he just acts like a fucking surfer dude. I don't like that. Hey, bro, you doing those weights? Yeah, get that pump on. I'm like, what, sir? There's a segment too where like 5 guys were just pumping weights in the gym. Like that was the segment. I'm like, okay, Vince McMahon would love this one in a lifetime. But speaking of what they like in a lifetime, Dorian Ducks versus EK Prosper for the speed, not for the well, in the tournament for the speed championship.
Yeah.
This match lasted to the last 5 seconds. I was gonna speed it up right here. Doria did a OG cutter. Then he tried to do a shooting star. No one in the pool. EK Prosper did a moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. And before that, EK Prosper did a shining wizard. They didn't want to call it that, but it was a shining wizard.
It
And
was
every
a
time I see it
yeah,
was right.
it was a
Okay,
beautiful shining wizard.
it was. I want to give a deep reference to YouTube here. If you want to see Xavier Woods scream out shining wizard, find Funhouse and type down Funhouse Xavier Woods. He fought Lauren Sontag in 2K, I think 16 or 17, and they both had unlimited reversals. And it's kind of rare that you have a guy who plays who is a wrestler, and a guy who actually is like a savant in games. But every time he said Shining Wizard, he's like Shining Wizard, and he would just
Oh
scream it.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
love this. Every time I hear him, like Shining Wizard, and just
Yeah.
like pops out.
Not to go on this side tangent about Xavier Woods, but he also yelled "Shining Wizard" in when him and Rollins played 2K18, I believe. It was one of the videos.
Yeah.
I remember that because I remember laughing so hard hearing Woods say that.
Oh my god, I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. Mm.
EK Prosper is. I'm still trying to get behind the new name.
Mm.
I mean, I know why they changed it, but it wasn't. His old name wasn't that bad.
It
He is
wasn't. It
gonna
was
take
awesome.
Yeah, it was great. The other guy in the match, I believe people are calling him DVD. I believe.
Yeah, the DVD. Yeah. Mm.
He is. I wasn't really I didn't know much of his work, but now I'm going to be doing a lot of research on him because I didn't expect him to do cruiserweight stuff. He looked like a big guy. He looked like a Jasper Troy in this situation, like a big guy in a speed tournament for some reason. But then yeah, he had an OG cutter, which I have a bit of a problem with people hitting a bunch of cutters for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bit much. I feel like everyone's doing it and then they never win with it. And then I'm supposed to believe that Javon can win with his OG cutters like he can win with it, but this guy can't. But granted, he didn't go for the pin, so maybe he would have beat EK, but I highly doubt it.
No. But
Yeah.
but my thought, like I remember the time when everyone was doing Falcon arrows, and that was a thing too. Like, oh my god! And that was the mythos where every time I see Falcon Arrow, I just hear Excalibur, Falcon Arrow, he's done the deal. It's over. 1, 2. Oh my god! How the hell did he kick out? Because like that was like I remember Tyler Black, which is Seth Rollins. He would do the Falcon Arrow and he's like, no, I would win. Like, I ain't losing to a Falcon Arrow, bro. I win with a Falcon Arrow. I'm like, okay, cool. Then there was the super kick. Then there was the standing Spanish flies. And then, like, after a while, now everyone's doing destroyers.
Oh yeah, that's like I don't get making fun of indie wrestling or anything, but like anytime I watch any match from the indies, they just have to hit a destroyer. Like they should be doing a great match, and then they have to hit a destroyer for some reason.
Yep.
It's a nice looking move. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, everyone does it.
Everyone, even 60-year-olds.
Yeah.
So it's not fun anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Like we just need something different. Bring back the guillotine driver. Fuck that shit.
I remember watching. I think it was Orange Cassidy and Penta in AEW, and they traded destroyers, but then they kept going. Like they hit a destroyer, then another one, like on each other. That was when I was like, okay, well that's just dumb. Like, why are we no selling destroyers?
Right? It just gets to the point like, okay, you're just diminishing the move. Like it just doesn't. When everyone started doing super kicks, I'm like, oh, it's a super kick. It's not the same. It's not the same as Shawn Michaels. It's not the same as Dolph Ziggler's. Like you just gotta like take it or not. Now everyone's doing everyone's doing suplexes. Like everyone's doing weird suplexes now. I'm like,
everyone's
okay,
doing neck breakers.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, like we talked about Shiloh Hill earlier. His finisher is a move that I believe Jason Jordan did. That's a death deep pull right there. Jason Jordan hit that was his finish. Jey Uso does it every now and then. Like a suplex into a neck breaker. or a back suplex to neck breaker.
Yeah.
And then like everyone does like what's it called? Rolling or not rolling neck breaker. Damn. What's mostly neck breaker or whatever. And then everyone just does it's like I want like people need to start doing something unique to stand out because like I think some people like on the main roster they have like something that no one else does. And granted, like Penta does a destroyer now, but he
Yeah.
wins with it. He doesn't like
Yeah.
the person he faces doesn't get up immediately, you know. So yeah,
I agree. Like we get like again all these. That's where we go back to Kelly Armstrong. She does a shoulder check. Do you want her to do do you want her to do a pump handle slam like everyone else does, or a power bomb?
right.
So someone actually was it Poison Rana? Yeah, Poison Rana said it. Oh, she should do a power bomb. Why?
Everyone does power bombs. Like
Everyone. Like the only one that does like a decent Liger bomb is Easy Dane because he converted it into a Liger bomb. But no one calls it a fucking Liger bomb. It's a power bomb. Sit down, power bomb. It's a Liger. Well, it's not okay. Technically, it's not a Liger bomb because a Liger bomb you gotta like really tuck in that neck. But other than that, everyone does power bombs. Everyone does bomb or Vader bombs. Shout out to Nikito. We'll talk about that woman crazy later. Notes. Van Dukes got a pre-taped interview during the interview promising to change the definition of destruction of NXT. I do like, again, he's Belgium that has a French accent who's talking English. Like, you can't not make this up at all.
yeah.
Him and Sosa, because they've had matches before. That's what I want to see. Ooh. Continuing. While Dukes played the face for now, his presentation comes off more heel, which could be a hint of his longer-term NXT direction. Because if they do him heel, that's pretty good. Zarya, and then we talked about this earlier, her version of the promo, so that's pretty cool. In Robert Stone's office, the GM ran down Keanu Carver for his actions and announced that he would fight Joe Hendry next week. We talked about that too. Yep. That Joe Hendry and Keanu Carver, Joe Hendry's gonna get murdered next week. Now we get to the main event. Oh wait, before that, they don't have it in Bleacher Report. Kendall Gray had a video package talking about her time in NXT and why she's up in NXT. I love this because she brought up Evolve. Like I was in Evolve. Yeah. Like look at my first match to my last match, and it's totally different. They brought up Rosenberg's commentary, which was like the second week after she left, that if you watch Evolve and watch all these wrestlers, you can see where they're going from with this. Like, she was the champion. She knows that NXT's going to be a little different, but she's ready for this. She was goofy with Ren. She does Ren's Days, which shout out to Ren's Days. I didn't get the clip because there was a little music cue. But in this week's Ren's Days, she did a ice bath, and the question was, who could be a potential member of Ren QCC while her dog in the background was throwing up. So... And she was in an ice bath too. And she's like, this is total. She regretted everything. And I was like, I feel bad for the dog because I'm going to have a dog myself. But what are your thoughts on this video promo and the fact that it was her and only her that brought up the fact that it was Evolve that made her what she was?
I feel like that's actually pretty cool to have her mention Evolve because, again, Evolve is it's where now, I guess, would you say it's the developmental for NXT, like to get people? Would you say that's what it basically is right now?
I shout out to Hear These Thoughts. I call it, and he calls it too, but I actually bought this a long time ago. It is NXT Black and Gold 1 year before. And I say this that you know this, and you know that when NXT Black and Gold actually started getting traction, it was the shit for 2 years straight. There was never a bad episode. Even when Blue Pants was there, it was never a bad episode. Okay? But the year before Black and Gold, it had to be set up. It had to be character development. It had to be matches that you didn't think was going to happen happens. That is what Evolve is. It's the 1 year before Black and Gold, and it's quite beautiful. because no one is expecting great matches. No one is expecting consistent year-round storylines.
Right.
And you have a male model figure in It's Gall. Like who else got that? Nobody. You got Shallow Hill. Touche. We got It's Gall.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah. So Kendall Gray, I think she's like incredible. I think um the only thing it goes back to finishers, right? I feel
Yeah,
like I don't know if it's a controversial take or anything, but I really don't like the pay dirt as a finish. I feel like
I don't either. I don't
with
either.
her moveset, with Kendall's moveset, I feel like that is the perfect it's used. Maybe a submission, maybe like a suplex of some sort. I don't know,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean the pay dirt in general when Shelton's doing it. I don't think Shelton actually really does it anymore. Um, but like when he would do it, it looked fine. But then everyone else starts like have that as like a move they've used. Like Grayson Waller, he uses it.
Mhm.
It's a
No, you're right.
stupid. Yeah, like it was. It's a move that I've seen done by so many people, and it's it just lacks that impact. Though I will say, when she does it off the second rope, it's very or top rope, it's very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Or the
Because
counters, or the counters
yeah,
leading up to it. Like she like does a wheelbarrow into the pay dirt,
yeah,
but I agree with you. I agree with you. And I found out that she did that and started doing that because they realized like if you don't have a snap finisher, you are a armbar specialist and you have to like do your
yeah.
whole thing based on that. And because she listened to the producers and she listened to the people in the back, she's like, all right, cool. And I understand this why people don't like it because again, it looks like it doesn't look as devastating because it's out of nowhere. It's a flash finisher. You don't really expect it, and it's like by the time you realize it happened, she's already on the 2 count going to 3. So that's
Yeah.
why. But for me, if she really had a finisher, like a finisher, it should be the Andrade elbow that she's doing, like the spinning leg into
Oh
the
yeah.
elbow. That should be her finisher because like once you see it, and if she can master like slapping her hand at the last time,
Yep.
getting that nice little gunshot, that's it. That's all you need because you know that for a fact. You can incredibly believe if someone spun around with an elbow in your face, your ass is out. That's it.
Yeah, and yeah. There's a reason why like people pop for it every time Andrade does it, or
Yeah,
even it's a crazy one, but every time Jericho does it, like
yeah,
especially at Dynasty, it looked insane.
it did.
So yeah. So I think Kendall like transitions like phases out the pay there for that. I think that's gonna. I mean, and to be fair, everyone basically like that's not a new thing in NXT. People right now, Lola Vice has to spin in back fist.
Yeah,
JC Jane has the rolling encore, the
yeah.
rolling elbow, which is devastating. Like it's
It is. It is.
and it won her the NXT championship, won Lola the NXT championship. So I mean, there's a trend going right now.
There's a trend.
Kendall Gray
There is
should
a
jump on
trend.
that trend and win the NXT championship with back elbow. That would be great.
That would be for me. That would be great. But Kendall, like this is part one, by the way. They're gonna say that part two is next week, so we're gonna
Yeah.
hear more from Kendall Gray, and that's cool. Like I don't know what else can you say. You kind of told everything that you did. All
Yeah.
right, I guess. But okay, talk about your life or you talked about your family, John Cena, Brent. I guess talk about your college days. I guess. I don't know. Eh.
I mean,
All right.
they got to tell us this like point some of the like stuff that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things to like
And
build.
it's true. Which, by the way, the Callie Armstrong promo when she had, I think she had a promo here. I think she did. Um, that was like 20, like 30% of what she said in Evolve because she's like, oh, because by the way, in Evolve, she had drugs in her system when she was a baby. She was living on the street. She said some way more dark shit in Evolve
Yeah,
than here. So I'm like, you guys are lucky. Like
that
I
was
started,
yeah,
I felt bad. I was gonna do a GoFundMe for her. Like, do you want money? I feel bad for you.
yeah. That's a bit of a tragic story, and yeah, it wasn't like they were gonna show like say all that on NXT. I don't
Yeah,
think
they were.
CW would have probably allowed it.
No, they'll do that on Raw. They want to make a pop. Like, you were drunk, baby. Oh, because if Nikki Bella can say that I wish you died in the womb, you can say
Oh
whatever these
god,
days.
that line still to this day is just it's the
It's the
most
worst.
like
Yeah.
it's the funniest line.
It is, but it's the worst line in like wrestling history. But it's funny because it
Yeah.
is the worst.
The
It's the
delivery
worst.
also just sucked. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish you died in the womb. Like, oh my God, stop. Oh God, leave. John
Oh
Cena,
god.
take her away, please. But let's get to the main event.
Yep.
Lola Vice versus JC Jane with Fatal Influence in the background. I do like, for some weird reason, that Fallon and Laney are
Yep.
synchronizing their hairs, like teasing a tag team. I'm like, okay, cool. And I feel bad for Fallon. I'm like, hey, Fallon, you were the North American champion. You know where you are now? A tag team.
Oh yeah. Fall from grace. Really.
Yeah. Laney needs to be alone. Before we get to the main event, before we get to the match, what are your thoughts on Laney Luck and Fallon Henley? I'm not really a Fallon Henley fan. For me, I'm not. Because again, like I like her style. It's very unique. It's okay, but not really wow. But I love
Yeah.
Laney. Laney is
Uh,
fucking unique, moves out the ass.
yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was one of those people who were a bit like, worried when like they replaced Jasmine Nitz with Lainey
Yeah.
Reed. I wasn't a fan of Jasmine Nitz to the point where I'd be like, I'm gonna stop watching now. But Jasmine Nitz, like she was growing. I mean, this always happens, by the way. This happens to me every time I watch like a wrestling show. I get attached to someone, like
Mm-hmm.
I start to like root for them, and then they either get injured or they get let go. I'm like, well, damn. It happens all the time. Anyway, Fatal Influence. I like Fatal Influence. They've drawn me heavily. I think uh, Fallon Henley though. I feel very bad for her. She's probably
Yeah.
having a great time with Fatal Influence, but like, yeah, she's. I feel like they really missed. They dropped the ball with her when she was feuding with Tiffany Stratton. That was a great feud.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a great feud to the point where it was like, like super entertaining. It was a comedy feud. I feel like it worked real well when Fallon was a face. I don't know. I'm not feeling this heel stuff still from her. I, yeah. I mean, it's not really doing much for me. But
It,
maybe this leads to her versus JC Jane. But I also think JC Jane's done it in NXT, so it's a bit up in the air right now.
yeah. And it's getting all right. I'll try to talk about this match, even though we know it's more interferences than my birthdays. Jane started slow, hesitated. The match strikes and grapples with Vice, and until Fallon Henley and Laney Reed distracted the NXT Women's Champion, allowing the former champ to lay her out on the floor. Back from commercial, the challenger tried to wear down the champion until Vice striking prowess began to overwhelm the Jane. Another distraction set up bicycle knee smash from Jane for a 2 count. Henley saved Jane from a triangle with a tiger feint kick and set up the rolling encore for another 2 counts. Reed caught Vice with a slap to set up another rolling encore, but Vice ducked the shot and hit the back elbow for the victory, for the Hurricane, which I call the Hurricane.
Yeah.
Post match, Zarya tried to make her own statement by arriving with music, but Ruka attacked her, starting a brawl to the back, while Vice stared down 3 new challengers. Now, these 3 new challengers is this. While this is all happening and Zarya and Zolruka were fighting, JC, Laney, and Fallon were on the outside of the ring. They're literally looking at Lola Vice. Out of nowhere, which I think just Callie Armstrong after a win did a run and then just ran back into the ring and then just like
Yep.
just freaking shoulder checked both of them. And then I
Oh
love that
yeah.
they saved Jason. Like, oh shit. And then after a while, Jason's all scared. Freaking Callie's looking at her, and then Izzy's looking at her, and I forgot what the third
I think it
person.
was Kendall. I think
Kendall,
it was
yes,
Kendall
and then
Gray.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Kendall was looking at her. No Kaylani.
Yeah, that's
Weirdly
weird.
enough, that is weird, right? Because like you just won a match, and they were implicating that this might be leading up to the NXT Women's Championship. Whoever wins this match. But Mr. Jetfet, what are your thoughts on the match, post match? Callie, Kendall, Izzy, all contenders, supposedly going after Lola.
I find it pretty cool that well the match itself was good. I mean, JC Jane's great. Lola Vice has really like grown in the last couple of years. I feel like in
Yeah.
reign, and yeah, she's still the champ, which is good. Let's not take the title off her the JC Jane for no reason. And yeah, post match, Charlie Armstrong running in like destroying Fatal Influence was great. And then stare down Lola. I will say when Zarya was making her entrance, she looked like a force to reckon with. Like I cannot wait for this Soul and Zarya feud to be done, so then
Yes.
they can do Zarya contending for the NXT Championship and probably winning it like by the summer. I would imagine.
Me too.
Yeah, and then yeah, AC Dame is one of those like wrestlers that it took me a bit like become a fan of because the culling for like a bit of it was a bit but after the Colin betrayed Tatum, that's probably where I jumped on the Izzy Dame bandwagon. And then
Okay.
Kendall Gray is like going to be like she's
It's
going to dominate NXT. She's going to dominate like
mhm.
she's one of the few people that came from Evolve to NXT who should just like you can already see her main eventing like some like WrestleManias like in the future, like
Yep.
she's insane. So yeah, I mean, yeah, NXT, the women's division, will continue to dominate NXT, especially when all the call-ups happen.
True. True. My thoughts on this match. It was a good match. Like I was, I'm not really excuse me, I'm not really a JC Jane fan because of her booking. Not of her wrestling. She's a standard good wrestler, can work the matches, can do 20-minute matches. That's fine. I just never liked the booking that from the start to the finish, she's always been interference.
Oh
She
yeah,
has that is a tattoo on her head. Like I'm a champion. Interference the whole damn time. Like you never had one match where you won definitively. Even Jackson Drake did that once in Evolve. One match. Like swipe right, never got involved. They were in the VIP section of the whole time. He won clean. That he's still a heel. That's why I'm like, for me, JCJ never clicked. But however, Lola Vice being the thing I didn't like about Lola Vice is that after you won the belt and you being the first Cuban American champion, and then after the fact that the last 4 years a Latin American has won a belt instead of deliver, it's a weird trend that's happening for the last 4 years straight. Um,
yeah.
your first thing that you do is champion is twerk your ass with Sexy Red. That's what you do. That's like,
Gotta get
oh,
those
not
gotta get
Viva
those
Cuba.
views.
Yeah, I get it. You gotta get those views. Not Viva Cuba. Not like Gracias Latino America. No, I gotta twerk my ass to the woman that made the worst song in the world in 2025. I said, I remember that damn song. So I thought it was gonna be good. And it was shit. Look
Which
up.
one was that?
That
Which
was the
song was that?
that was the one that Drake used the BBL
Oh,
Drizzy. Like the beginning of the song is Sexy Red. The ending of the song is Drake doing a freestyle over the BBL Drizzy beat.
oh, okay. Well, when I think of a Seti Red song that came out in the like last 2 years, I feel like
Yeah,
the one with the only one I really know by her is the one with she did with Bruno Mars though.
yeah,
The that one it's just a funny song. Like
yeah.
yeah, she's one of those like people who I just don't really like. I understand why she's featured. I mean, she's as long as she doesn't have a match, that's fine. Like, but I don't know. I find it funny just when Shawn Michaels and Seti Red like interacted.
Oh
Something I did not have on my bingo cards when I
no.
yeah.
Oh, I did not have that on my bingo card. I don't want to have that on my bingo card. I don't want to see her in the wrestling ring at all. But yeah, look up that song of like Here with Drake. It was just bad. But there's something else I forgot before we get out of here. Tatum Paxley talked to Robert Stone in the back.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. She told Robert Stone, like, hey, I'm getting tired of this shit. I want to send her to hell. And she was all the way up to like the fourth floor on the top. And Robert Stone's all scared. Like, can we get down here? Like, no. Shallow Hill comes in like, oh, I finished your casket. It's done. Tatum Paxley says, I want to have a casket match with Blake Monroe. Okay, sure. So what are your thoughts on that and predictions of who's going to win?
So I honestly thought they were gonna build to a ladder match for both of the for the fake belt and then the actual title. I thought that's what they were going to do. A casting match is fine. I mean, Tatum and Blake are probably going to put on a banger. Hopefully they get enough time though. Hopefully they don't get like a shorter match. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think the smart move were I don't know. It's hard to call because I think Blake is staying in NXT for a bit longer, which is fine. Yeah, she's with Vanity Project now, I guess. Tatum, it's a bit of a rough one to call because I feel like they could easily call her up like next week, have her do interact with Lyra because there's already a story there. I
Yeah,
just I don't know. It depends on like, but then at the same time, I don't know how it's really the main roster crowd. I don't know how they're going to react with a Tatum Pasley type character.
I mean,
There's gonna be people saying like comparing her to stuff with the Wyatt sits with how like unhinged she is, which isn't a fair comparison. So I guess they could go down that path. Yes, they. I don't know.
I think that if she goes into the main roster in SmackDown, she should have an encounter with the Wyatt Six.
Yeah,
But then all
she
Wyatt
shouldn't
Six.
join.
No, not even join. Like kind of like
Yeah,
she hangs out with the Wyatt, like she's like around the Wyatt Six, and Wyatt Six like, I respect your weirdness. We're not gonna bother you. We're gonna go on. Like it should be like an acknowledgement and then a separation of things. Like
yeah,
you don't have to put her with the crazy people. Like if her first debut in let's say SmackDown, like oh I want to open challenge, and then she comes out of SmackDown with a chainsaw, like you're gonna get popped. And then
yeah,
her wrestling will do it for her. Like she
yeah.
will wow the crowd. But yeah, you're right. Like it's just she's weird, and you have to set it up for her to get to where she needs to go. Like that's
She
fine
has
with Tatum.
one. Yeah, she has one of those characters that I feel like it works real well in NXT, but then once they get called up, it doesn't work as well. I
Yeah.
can think of an example. Dexter Loomis. He was
Oh,
so over in NXT when like and then he got released, but then came back. He was over. Don't get me wrong, but then it kind of fizzled out. So
yep.
WWE kind of gave up on him. So
I actually started watching NXT just for Dexter Loomis.
in Dex was like one of the best things to happen
Yup.
in a
Her
long time.
her her and Indy Hartwell, like those two were like, and
Oh
Indy
yeah.
Hartwell's not the greatest women wrestler in the world,
No.
but like it was just lightning in a bottle that worked. Basically, like what Tatum and Shiloh Hill is now for them. Like they both are
Yeah.
lightning in a bottle that works for some weird reason. So
Yeah, and
for them.
yeah. Sorry.
So overall, that was NXT. Final rating of the show and just thought predictions of NXT Revenge Night 2. I know we have casket match. We have Hendry versus Carver. We have I think something else. I forgot what it was. Well,
Dion
just
and Miles.
Dion and Miles. So those three. So what were your predictions on that? And just final rating of the show this week.
Yeah, I'll give my predictions first.
Okay.
Carver's obviously gonna win, no doubt.
Yeah.
Again, wouldn't make sense to have Joe beat Carver, especially if this is Hendry's last match. I think Tatum and Blake, like I said, it's a hard match to call. As of right now, I'm gonna go with Tatum,
Okay.
but I can easily see Blake winning it as
Yeah.
well. It's a casket match, so I feel like Tatum can't lose a casket match. Though
She
I
hasn't
don't
lost one. She's 2 for
exactly.
2.
So exactly. So I mean, like, there's a streak there. So they could also keep that going. Miles and Dion, I can see it play both ways. Miles loses via shenanigans from Dart State, or
Mhm.
Dion loses because of Dart State by
Yeah.
accident or on purpose, depending on how they want to book it. So I'm gonna, as right now, like with Tatum and Blake, it's gonna switch by next week, I'm sure. But
Okay.
I'm just gonna go with safe option, Miles Bourne.
Okay.
Just
You
win
know
it.
what's I'm disappointed that there's no tag match for week 2.
Yeah,
Honestly, but there's no good tag division. I mean, mind you, there is Vanity Project. They are a great tag team and
they
they
are.
hold the belts. But there's no one right now who is credible enough to go against them. There
Unless
isn't.
they're from like the main roster or they're from
Yeah,
AAA, like
and
or TNA.
and they're turning into Axiom where they have to fight people outside to
Yeah,
like. And there's nothing wrong with them. But like, guess what? OTM sucks. The Fat Boys suck. Chase U is dead. Freaking, there's no other tag team left over there. Like,
There's no other heel teams. Yeah.
No, there is. There's High Rise, but then that's funny. I hate calling them High Rise because they were High Rise with Wesley. Wesley is gone, so now they're in Limbo. So they're called Limbo because I haven't seen them in about 4 months.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with them, honestly.
They're not even hurt.
They were there because of Wes, and now they let go Wes, which still blows my mind. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the NXT tag division like has been kinda in limbo for the last couple years. I would say Fraction was carrying the division. Once they left, it was like, okay, we got Dark State, we got the Hank and Tank, and then we got OTM once in a while.
Yeah,
that was the teams. Yeah, that's basically the main teams, and now you have Vanity Project. But other than that, there's like no one else.
There's no one else. Even if you go to the main roster, let's bring 2 people down. Why? Because it just buries them.
Yeah, I guess it depends on who. Like they could have people that aren't like being featured. I feel like the Creed brothers would be great, especially since they're not doing anything for some reason.
Yeah.
That will always blow my mind that they have the Creeds not doing anything. The LWO, they're still a thing. Believe it or not. Del Toro and Wild, they're still a tag team, I believe.
Oh my god, the new Wild looks just weird. He's just all over the fucking place, but that's just Joaquin. But that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there's going to be a PWF Wrestling Talk on Saturday because WrestleMania Night 1 is going to happen, and you know how people are going to watch it. I'm not going to get into that shit. But I want to thank you, Jeff, for passing by for NXT Time with D-Walk. It was a great show, but I appreciate that. And thank you for your great commentary and everything else. I want to give a shout out to D-Walk. Be well, stay well, get better. Tomorrow, we will have a PWF Evolve Wrestling Channel episode 56 of the Evolve with PWF episode. We will talk about the 8-way Eliminator Gauntlet tournament. We will talk about It's Gall with their new team. We will talk about that WWE has trademarked 2 new names. Shido Ash, Shido Ash, and the second name is the Mog Squad, which is MOG.
I heard about that one.
Yes, I'm actually very excited because for a second I thought it was Vanity Project. They were going to call themselves the Mog Squad with Blake Monroe, but it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. So that means the Mog Squad is going to be a few people and then Evolve. And if they're giving them a name and they're giving them a stable, that means they give them confidence. And they are really doing the feeder system of like, okay, we had the Vanity Project and Evolve. They're in NXT. We need a Vanity Project and Evolve again. Okay, we call them the Mog Squad. Yes. Yes, please. But stay healthy, stay happy. It is smart. Stay healthy, stay happy. Shout out to Tafreel Terrell, CJ Wolfie, Jet Fett. Shout out to oh, by the way, Jet Fett, please tell them your socials where they can find you and tell them where they can find your YouTube channel. I totally forgot about that. My apologies.
Yeah, I told you. You can find me at JetFed or Jet_Fed on Instagram, JJFed8 on TikTok, and JetFed on YouTube. And I have 2 other channels on YouTube as well. Just labeled JetFed2 and JetFed3. So yeah.
Nice. His YouTube channel, and I will actually look for JetFed2 and JetFed3 will be down below in the description below, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to subscribe, get him to 1,000, get him to all the way to the numbers of the sky. And we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that YouTube didn't really get me on my intro, and I hope they don't get me on my outro, which I think we are good, but let's find out together, shall we? Bye, guys.
Damn, Rican, where you found this? PUWF exclusive. This is the podcast for unappreciated wrestling fans. If you don't like it, suck our Walk, Joe BNCO, and the Invisible Man.